Knepper, are you ready for our interview?
Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you. First of all, who are you talking to? Is there anybody else in the room with you?
No one else is in this room.
Oh no, are you recording
I am recording.
or are you? Let's see. So let's just start off with the basics, bro. Let's get your name, rank, and experience, all that good stuff.
Sure, it's Gerald Knepper. I'm an officer with the Tucson Police Department. I've been deployed. I've been with those departments for 21 years since February 2004. I have all the training and experience needed to be a peace officer in the state of Arizona.
All right, and what's your badge number?
46585.
Okay, and what additional training have you had as far as First Amendment? You have had any First Amendment training?
I had training about the First Amendment in the academy, and the Constitution has not been updated since 1992. So, no updates on the actual Constitution.
Oh,
but updates on case law when it comes out.
Have you got any? Have you had any? Have you? Do you have a? Do you have you had any training on what am I thinking? Hold on. Lost my train of thought already. But have you had any training in the last on the? So when was the last time you had training on the Constitution, on constitutional rights or?
The last time I had training on Constitution would be in the academy, as far as the specific Constitution itself. But as far as case law that comes out pertaining to the Constitution, last time I had training on that was probably, I believe it was in March this year, which would have been use of force at our advanced officer training that we do once a year.
Oh, use of force. Did you learn anything?
Sure.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. What did they teach you in the use of force training?
They just go for the standards for use of force, when to use empty hand control, when you can use lethal force, that sort of thing.
Did they say anything about if somebody was recording in a courthouse?
No, it did not.
No, I didn't have any of that kind of training. Have you had do you have any do you have training on trespassing as well?
Yeah, that's part of Title 13 that we learn at the academy.
All right. Have you had any recent? So you said the academy is like 21 years ago, right? Have you had any recent training?
No, not specifically on trespassing. No.
Have you had any training dealing with trespassing?
No additional training on trespassing.
No. So okay. So do you have any disciplinaries?
I do not.
No, never.
No, I've never been disciplined.
Oh, okay. And you're not on the Brady list? Are you on the Brady list?
I'm not.
Okay. All right. So can you tell me what happened the day where we made contact, or where, I don't know. You got a story? Where do you want to start off at?
Oh, this is your interview, sir. You asked me what you want to know.
All right. So, have you ever arrested me before?
Yes.
What happened with that arrest? What was I arrested for?
We're talking about this time, but.
Oh no, you brought it up in the paperwork. It's in here.
Oh yeah, well yes, because.
All right, yeah. So I'm curious about
when you
that.
assaulted me, and when I was doing a DUI investigation, and we both nearly got ran over by the vehicle that I was doing the investigation on as he fled the scene past us.
Dang, that sounds exciting. That sounds like lethal weapon stuff. That's crazy. That's what you tell all your friends?
No, I don't talk about you.
Oh no. What happened with that in court?
The officer that took the report cited you with the wrong Arizona revised statute, and it got thrown out.
That's not what happened. I took that all the way to trial, and you were found like you have MOs, right? Like you have MOs, right? So you arrested me that time for recording you on the side of the street, and then you
No,
attacked
you're
me.
interfering with my.
Oh, and you also put me in the hospital. You know that, right? And it's all on video.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, so that's what happened with that, really. So if you can, I'd like for you to.
Are you telling me, or are you asking me some?
No, that's what happened because it went through court. It's all paperwork.
So
It
sounds
went
like
through
you're
court.
telling
It
me.
went all the way to trial. You remember, you were there.
That's awesome. Let's talk about this case.
Yeah, but see, you're saying I assaulted you. How come I didn't go to jail for that assault? How come I didn't go to jail for assaulting a cop?
Okay. Can we continue with this investigation?
Well, no, it is this investigation because that's what you did a character thing on me right here. So I want to know because
thing?
yeah, because you say I assaulted you, but that went to trial, that went to court.
Video of you slapping my hand.
No. That's not what the video
Okay.
shows.
Well,
So
agree to disagree. So we talked about that, and now we can move on to.
that's when. Anyways, yeah. So that's already been through court, right? Correct.
Yep, sure has.
It went to trial, correct?
It did.
And all the way to trial, right? In a different county, even.
Not in a different county.
Where did we go to court at?
Marana.
Is that a different county?
It is not.
Then it's not a different county than Pima County.
No, it is not.
All right, cool. So so we went to Marana, to a different town, anyways, right? Correct.
I've answered that. We can move on.
Well, it's county, but it's a different town, correct?
Can we move on to this investigation?
This is part of the investigation. This is what you brought up in the. I'm only bringing up what you brought up in here.
Yeah, and I've answered your questions about it.
But yeah, you said it was a different county. All right, so
You said it was a different county.
yeah, and you said it wasn't, and I asked if it was a different town.
Marana is different than Tucson, yes.
All right. So yeah, tell me what you seen that day. Tell me what happened. So you did a 12-hour shift that day?
Prior to that, yeah.
Were you still on duty at that point?
Yeah, anytime we're in court, we're on duty.
Did you clock out from that 12-hour shift?
We don't clock on and clock off.
So how do you do it? How do you report your time? How do you go on duty, off duty?
We have regular times to show up, and when we're outside of that time, we add it to a computer program.
All right, so do you clock out before you add it to that computer program?
We don't clock out.
Oh, you stay clocked in?
We just leave, yeah.
Who else is in the room with you?
No one else is in the room.
I just heard somebody answer that question for you.
You did not. There's
All right.
no one else here.
All right. We'll see. But so you worked a 12-hour shift, correct?
Before that, yeah.
All right. And were you on duty at the courthouse?
Yes, on duty.
You never clocked out?
And it's overtime. I was on overtime.
All right, so you're on overtime. All right. So you were on duty?
I don't know how many times I can say yeah.
All right.
Gonzalez, can we move on?
No, I just want to clarify.
It's pretty clear.
Well, we've been to court with each other before, right? So I know how the game's played with you. I know how you like to, So, did you write this report? Did you write the report?
I did.
Is everything that you wrote in that report true and accurate?
I followed the guidelines of the GOs for the Tucson Police Department in writing this report.
I don't think you understood the question.
I don't think you understood the answer.
Is everything that you wrote true and accurate?
I followed the guidelines of our general orders in preparing this report.
All right, so I don't think you understood me again.
I don't think you understand.
Is everything that you wrote true and accurate that you wrote? Do you say that it's true and accurate, everything that you wrote in this report?
I have prepared this report.
And you believe that?
General orders for the Tucson Police Department.
And you're willing to, so this is true and accurate to the best of your ability? Do you remember? Is that hard to answer? Because you're not answering that.
You're gonna pin me down, so you're gonna find like a misspelled word or something.
No, I don't care about that. It's actually written pretty good. I mean, I can read it pretty good, and I have no complaints about that. All I'm just asking you is this true and accurate? right? I don't want no mistakes because you said that the last court, which didn't happen, but you said that the last court that we went to, they wrote something wrong as far
That's what
as
the judge said, yeah.
that's not what she said. Anyways, anyways, I just want you. I don't want that to happen again. I want to make sure that
Awesome. When you were there, if you think there's something inaccurate about this report, let's
I didn't write it. I want to know if this is if
Right.
you
That's
would you
part of
die
the
on this
reason.
hill? Would you die
If
on
you
this
think
hill?
there's something inaccurate about here, ask about that.
No, it's just a simple question. That's all I ask. Are you being
Yeah,
so?
Judge.
So is anything that you wrote on this thing false and inaccurate? Can you answer
Again,
that
I
one?
told you, I wrote this report following the guidelines of general orders of the Tucson Police Department.
But the guidelines and everything like that. This is you wrote this. Is this what you believe to be true?
Yes,
All right. Do you believe this to be accurate?
I do.
All right. Okay, so what happened that day? Where did we first run into each other?
We'll be outside the courtroom. I think we're on the second or third floor.
All right, and was I inside the courtroom with you?
I believe we did come out of the courtroom, yes.
Oh, okay, and it says in your report that that I was a spectator. What does that mean exactly? Is that like a spectator is like something for a show or for like a basketball game or something like that?
Yeah, that you weren't part of the trial. You were just watching the trial. That's what that means.
No, actually, observer is the word for it. You make it sound like a mockery, right? So observer.
It's just another word.
That's First Amendment training. I mean, it's been around since forever, right? Before you went to basic training 21 years ago, correct?
I'm sure, yeah.
Okay, so could you tell me a little bit about the First Amendment?
Sure, I could tell you about the First Amendment.
Okay, please, would you?
Yeah, it's about not establishing a religion for the state, right? Not prohibiting free exercise, freedom of speech, or the press, right?
And is there anything else on that as well?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Freedom
So
of press,
freedom of press, freedom of religion, and what was the other one?
freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. Okay, so in freedom of press, did you take training on that? When was the last time you've been updated or trained on this? You haven't had no updates about recording?
Hold on, I couldn't hear what you said. There was some interference. You said it, and you added something to it? Or you wanted to know about the training?
Yeah, like you haven't had no training on recording in the courthouse?
Actually, we have had some training on recording in the courthouse.
Oh, well, how long ago was that?
Oh, man, I don't know exactly when. It was probably at least 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Not sure exactly.
What is freedom of the press exactly?
Where you can write about the government.
About anything, right? Correct?
Sure.
Government as well. Is the courthouse a public forum?
It's not a forum, I would say. Right?
Isn't that in the First Amendment? Isn't that, I'm pretty sure that's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
The courtroom is where you are exercising your rights.
Because that's where you have the right to protest and do your grievances.
Well, you
And
have the right to see your accuser and have the right
well,
to look at
your First Amendment, we're talking about your First Amendment. Your First Amendment right to address your government, address your grievances to your government. You have the right to free speech.
Not inside a courthouse.
You have a right to protest. And the courthouse is a public forum. A courthouse is a public forum, correct?
You have the right to peaceably protest.
Of course. And peaceably doesn't mean like speech. Do you think speech is violence?
Oh, it can be. The courts have said it can be.
What does the Supreme Court say about
You incite-
about
you're
speech?
inciting violence.
What is
If
the?
you're just cursing and swearing,
Does it
probably
hurt
not.
you?
If you're making it to
Does
a point where
does speech
someone can't
hurt
do
you?
their job or they can't do the job in the courtroom,
Oh, is
then
that's in the
yeah,
First Amendment?
that's what the states can do.
Is that what the First Amendment?
They can pass laws too.
Also, the speech. You're telling me, dude, that speech. Does it give you cocos? Does it make you bleed when somebody says something to you?
No.
You're telling me it
I
hurts
don't
your
know what a cocoa
feelings?
is. What's
Are
a
you telling
cocoa?
me that speech hurts your feelings?
What's a cocoa?
It's like a boo boo.
What's a boo boo?
It's when you fall and scrape your little knee and take pictures of it.
That's a boo boo?
Yeah. Remember like how you sent pictures of your boo boo on your knee and all your little boo boos whenever I guess we were almost ran over, I guess, at some point together?
Sure, yeah. Drove right past it.
That's what you said. Some car almost ran me and you over. That's crazy. I don't remember that. But anyways, yeah, so First Amendment training and stuff like that. So
So we
so
just covered that. We're gonna move on to this.
well, no, we're not covered it yet because is a courthouse a public
I'm
forum?
not, we already went to that, right?
No, you didn't
It
answer
has
that.
rules.
You evaded it. I just want a yes or no.
I didn't evade it. I'm just telling you it has rules that you.
That's not what I asked though, sir. You're not answering the questions that I asked. Is a court a public forum?
The next question we're gonna ask is about this case, or else I'm just.
All right, so that's a public forum, and you have the right to redress your government. Is that correct? You agree?
Inside court, you're addressing the government on your own behalf, or what? What are you talking about?
A public forum,
people have
right?
to be
We
on the
agree that the
public
court
forum.
is
They
a
have to be
public
able to
forum
do
and that
that.
you have the right to redress your
Right? You can't
grievances.
disrupt that. You don't have the right to disrupt someone else's.
Do you have the right to redress your grievances?
You're just gonna talk over me, so I'm done. I'm done. Are we done?
No, of course we're not done. I know you're
You wanna
trying
talk
to.
about boo-boos and everything.
Well, no, you won't answer any questions, and this is in your
I've answered
report.
every
I'm only,
question.
I'm
I've
only,
answered everything.
I'm only asking you what you wrote in your report. This stuff
What
this
I
is.
write? What I write?
I don't answer your questions, sir. This interview, I ask you the questions, you answer, right?
Then ask me some questions about.
All right. So, what was this training with recording inside the courthouse that you were speaking of earlier, and how long ago
Yeah,
was
I
that?
said I didn't know exactly when it was. It's been probably a year or two.
Oh, really? We'd still be able to find it in your emails, or was it a text?
No,
Or
I don't know. It's probably in my training file.
oh, was it an email that you got sent to where you have to go to that class?
Probably, yeah.
Is that
Or
what
it
how
was
you
disseminated to the squad. So
the
in
squad?
memo forms. Yeah, sometimes it's memo forms.
The squad. So was it email or was it? How do we find out? How do we find out that information?
No, I don't remember.
How do we get you to remember? I mean, do we have to go back through your messages?
Maybe some magnesium or something. I
Do
don't
we go? Uh-oh. You know what I like about? Oh, never mind. I almost went off, Knepper. But then you'd be avoiding my. Then you're looking for any excuse to not talk or answer these questions that you wrote in here, right? So, what were these classes that you took?
They're usually just on the computer.
So was it like was there a group message? Like, were you doing it in a group meeting on the?
Like I said, I don't remember. You asking me 10 times, I'm still not going to remember.
Oh, well, then that's what I'm trying to figure out is how we can help you remember.
Okay.
So do we go through your emails or where do we find
No,
this
I'm not
class
gonna
out?
sit here and go through my
Because I'm curious, did you get graded for that class?
Did I get graded?
Yeah.
No, it just shows that you took the class or read the memo, that's all.
And then they
Just
gave
take
you a
it
gold
as-
star? Were you given a
What'd you
gold
say?
star?
A what?
A gold star?
No, this isn't like one of the classes you go to.
Oh, okay. So that's sweet. So you have had classes on it. Would it be, you said like a couple years, would you say like 2 to 5 years or
I said 1 to 2 years ago.
one? All right. Yeah. But all right. So you said 1 to 2 years. And what was it about? What do you remember from that class?
They just put the Supreme Court's decision on there.
What What did it?
It was an administrative order. Says that you can't film in the courtroom without permission of the judge or the presiding judge.
You said that was a Supreme Court order?
I think it was an administrative order, yeah.
No, I mean, well, that's different from a Supreme Court order.
Administrative order?
An administrative order? So,
Yeah, it's a rule they made.
all right, so the Supreme Court did? I just want to clarify because I don't want to be confused.
No, you sound confused. The Arizona Supreme Court? Yeah.
Oh, the Arizona Supreme Court? What rule is that?
I'd have to look.
Could you look for me, please? I could help you out. It's Rule 122.1.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, because you don't know what it is. You haven't known what it is. So, yeah, I should have let you guess. But I told you about it about 1,000 times, and let me know when you got it, sir. It's ARS Rule 122.1.
When I have what?
Huh?
When I have what?
The ARS Rule 122.1.
Oh, I'm not pulling that up.
Do you have internet in front of you?
I'm not going to pull it up.
Yes, sir. I'd like for you to pull it up.
Okay, that's cool. You can ask some questions about it, but that's the rule I was following.
But we need to know that we're on the same page because you just told me the Supreme Court rule. You told me that the Supreme Court rule allows the court administration, so I wanted just to go through that and see if we're correct.
You should have said that before when you wanted to have that information.
I did. I also put it in your email that you would that I wanted you to have a two-way access to an internet.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
So, are you
What you asked me about?
I may have gotten you confused with one of the other cops that I put in for.
Maybe.
Have you guys spoke with each other by chance?
No,
Have you, was your body cam on that day?
I didn't have a body cam that day.
You didn't have one?
No, the battery was dead.
All right, so, the battery's dead, so you left it in your car?
I was on my person, but the battery's dead.
Oh, okay, so the battery was dead? And, when did that die?
I have no idea. It's probably depleted at the end of my shift.
Have you reviewed the footage?
The footage of my camera that wasn't operating?
Yeah, to see when it ended?
It wasn't operating. It doesn't record with no battery.
Did you review no, that's not what I asked you. I'll say it again. Did you review the footage?
The footage of my camera that wasn't operating? There's no footage.
The footage before it stopped, sir.
No, it had nothing to do with your case.
I just want to know where it stopped.
Probably the night at the end of my shift it would have stopped.
Did you review it?
No.
Excuse me?
No, I did not review it.
All right. So your body cam wasn't working. You're working 12-hour shift, overtime. You're still on duty, correct? You said. And so we're inside the courthouse. But you know what? I'm kind of curious more on this recording and stuff like that. Who gave you those classes for the recording on?
I don't know. They came over
In a courthouse. Did you learn that? Did you learn that in the Supreme Court? What was it? The Supreme Court or the Arizona Supreme Court, or which one was it again?
Supreme Court.
Because like we talked about the Constitution, and like we pretty much agree that it's a public forum, and regret grievances, address your grievances against your government, and freedom of speech, religion, freedom of press, which involves yeah, it's journalists, man. Anyways, so we agree with that. Now you said the Supreme Court said that there was a rule. What rule was that?
We just covered that, right?
No, we didn't cover it. We didn't cover it at all. We didn't cover it. But I got it in front of me though.
That sign's posted that you can't film in there, right? Because of the rule they made, which is at 122.1. If you have a problem with that, then take it to.
You said that you can't record in there because of the rule that they made for 122.1.
Yeah, it's trespassing. You're asking if it's trespassing.
But yeah, but you're familiar with trespassing though too, right? You have certificates around trespassing training. Because I asked you about this, didn't I? Because I believe you said you did, right?
We had training on it, yes.
And you've done a lot of arrests for trespassing.
Sure, probably.
And when was the last time you had your trespassing? Like, is it a certificate or something, or how do you exactly do you get that training?
It would be at the academy.
All right, so when you took the academy, did they train you?
Past the training.
Did they train you that?
We've been talking about it for half an hour.
No. So at the academy. At the academy, yes, it's trespassing, exactly the charges that you gave me. So, do you remember what part of your training spoke about filming being a trespassing charge, or turning into a trespassing charge?
Well, it's not.
Huh?
It's not. The trespassing comes when you're.
Oh, so but.
Order and then refusing to leave.
But you told me filming is a trespassing.
To leave and you didn't leave.
You said filming is a trespassing.
You remember that? You still wanted to play your games.
No, that's what you said, right?
In the courtroom. You still want to do all that. So.
In the courtroom, you said I was filming in the courtroom.
Decided that you had already been told not to be there, right? Because he'd already told you. So that's trespassing.
Who told me? Hold on. You said I was recording in the courtroom.
Yeah, you were recording in the courtroom.
And you seen that?
You were holding up your phone trying to make us believe you were recording, or you were recording.
Oh, so you don't know if it was on or off?
Well, take it to court. That's what we're going to court.
Well, you just told me you don't know if it was on or off.
I don't know.
What?
Maybe they'll agree with you. I don't know. Let's take it to court.
Did you see my phone on or off?
What?
Did you see my phone on or off?
Oh, you were holding it so I couldn't see the screen.
But so you don't know if I was recording or not?
I believe that you were recording in the manner you were holding it.
Is a belief a yes or a no?
A belief is a yes to me, yeah.
So belief means yes to you?
Yeah, I believe I had probable cause that a reasonable person.
So you didn't see it on then? Did you see the camera screen?
I did not see where you were streaming to.
Did you see me turn on audio?
I don't know what you were doing with it.
But it was on, right?
Pointing the camera lens.
Huh?
You were holding it up, pointing the camera lens to me, so. And I asked you to leave.
Did you ask me to leave?
And I gave you multiple opportunities to leave, and you just refused.
You asked me to leave when? So you're jumping ahead. We're still on my phone, so you don't even know if my phone was on. And what did you say whenever my phone was pointed in? Huh?
I believed it to be on.
But did you see the screen on? What made you believe that the phone was on? What gave you that belief?
I'm going to answer this one time. The way you were acting and the way you were holding.
So the way I was acting and the way I was holding it gave you belief that it was on? So you didn't actually see it on or off?
I did not see your screen, no.
Did you see, so how do you know it was recording? Specifically.
I don't know 100%, right?
Yeah, see, you're just making stuff up. Did,
I'm not.
do you think the security footage would show my phone on?
Did you get cited for having your phone on? No, you got cited for trespassing.
Filming turns into trespassing is what you told me. And I asked you, remember, and that's when we went down the whole class of trespassing.
You were asked to leave because of it, but you had already been asked to leave.
Is recording inside the courthouse illegal?
Yes, it's against the rule, and if you don't leave, then you're trespassing.
All right, see, so let me go ahead and before we look up trespassing, you keep saying the rule, but you don't even mention the rule. You don't say the rule. I told you the rule.
I'm not the one that placed you under arrest, right?
Yes, you did.
No, that would be Officer Winograd.
But wasn't he off duty?
There's no off duty.
What do you mean? There's on duty and there's off
You're
duty.
stuck on that whole thing, like he's off duty, but he's still working the capacity.
So you're saying when you're off duty, you could walk around with your walkie-talkie and just go make stops whenever you want.
Yeah.
There's no on duty and off duty capacity. How many hours do you work a
No,
week?
we're 24/7.
How many hours do you work a
in the
week?
state of Arizona.
How many hours do you work a week?
Normally about 40, 50.
Normally about 40 or 50. And you work off duty? Have you worked for the Tucson City Court before?
I have not worked for the city court, but I've worked other off-duty jobs, sure.
All right. And were you in uniform and
Yeah, all that.
did you have the cop car and everything?
I can't help that you can't understand it. I can't help you understand it. But I can talk about this case today.
Yeah, it was,
You
but
wanna
was
do
that a
that,
third
let's
party?
do that.
Was that third
Let's
party?
do that.
Well, I want to know what is that third party to get hired at the Tucson City Court
What
for an
third
officer
party
to
are you
work there?
talking about?
Huh?
You're gonna have to ask Officer Winograd about his involvement in this, right?
Well,
Yes, when they hire.
But I'm
they're
talking to
hiring
you.
in the capacity of a peace officer. So yes, we still have all the authority as a peace officer.
after 40 hours,
Yeah,
when do you ever go off duty?
never. We're a peace officer of the state
So,
of Arizona. If
Are
I'm
you
off
really
duty
telling me that you
and I
think you're a cop off duty, that you have the
Listen,
same privileges,
listen, I
their
don't do that.
privileges?
I absolutely do. If I identify myself as a police officer, yes, I have. I am a police officer. There's no, you're a police officer for 40 hours a week and that's it. That's not how that works.
Isn't there a special name for off duty officers working security guard? Isn't it called moonshining?
No,
Isn't it called moonlighting?
no.
So you never have a day off?
Yeah, I have days off.
No, you don't.
But still,
No, you don't.
okay, I can't explain it to you again. So here we go.
Well,
What else
so
would you have
what's the
like-
difference between on duty and off duty?
It depends on the framework you're asking.
No, I mean, it's clear and simple, right? On duty, off duty. What's the difference between the two?
So if I'm not working and I'm just walking around.
And that's off duty, right?
Oh, you're not going to let me talk, so.
All right, so I'm sorry.
So I'm walking around. I'm just walking around at the mall, buying stuff in plain clothes. And I see a robbery happen. I'm going to get involved. All I have to do is tell them I'm a police officer. Guess what? I have all the authority of a police officer.
But I have that same authority too, don't I? Except for saying I'm a police officer.
You can make arrests. Sure, you can make arrests.
All right, see, so what's the
authority.
difference between an off-duty officer and an on-duty officer?
Off-duty officer, depending on the job, is getting paid by a separate source. But the off-duty at city court is being paid by the city of Tucson.
Is getting paid by the city of Tucson?
Yeah.
And
Same as if they were on duty.
so how does that work? Do they put in like can I hire an off-duty officer?
Does it matter?
Could I do that myself?
No, you could not.
Is there a hire an off-duty officer on the Tucson Police website?
Are we going to talk about this case? You're going down a
Well, no. Well, you said that you were hired on other jobs before. How were you hired?
People call the city, they ask for police officers.
Do they call the city and they would also email the?
There's an app we can use and we can request to work that job. Simple.
But I'm talking about me hiring you.
No, I wouldn't go work for you.
I know you wouldn't, but I could put in to hire an officer. I would never hire you guys. What do you think? I want to kill people I know? Crazy. So, anyways, check this out. So this Rule 122.1, it's the use of electronic devices and courthouses. Do you have a paper and pen on you?
I'm not going to write anything down. So.
Oh no.
Continue.
Do you have it memorized?
No.
All right. So in 122.1c.
Are you talking at me or are you going to ask a question?
So in 122.c, it says that photography and audio recording and video recording, photography, audio recording, and video recording in the courthouse are permitted, but the following exceptions apply.
With permission.
It doesn't say with permission. What All right. So the following except, huh?
That's how I understand it.
And who told you that?
That's just how I understand the rule. I'm just telling you.
Did you? Did anybody tell you that?
That's how I understand the rule. I don't know where I got the information from.
Oh, so you don't know?
So if you want to ask about the case,
Yeah, no. It doesn't say are permitted.
okay.
It doesn't say are permitted at all.
Well, it sounds like you're going to take this to court then. That's what court's for, right?
Is that what that's what the Arizona Supreme Court says?
I don't know. Like, I don't have it.
See, so you don't know.
No, I understand that you have to have permission to have that done. So that's how I understand.
Well, who made you understand that?
Who made me?
Yeah, like how were you brought aware
Was I brought aware?
of that 122.1?
Oh, that'd probably be that training that I had.
Also, who is your training officer?
It doesn't work like that. It's usually just a program.
And I'm speechless, really.
Okay. That concludes this interview.
No, actually, the Rule 122.1, it states right here that photography, audio recording, and video recording in a courthouse are permitted, but the following restrictions apply. And they told you that in your classes. Was that a program? Is it a program that you did? Hello?
Hello?
Was that a program that you did?
I'm waiting for a question that we haven't covered, so I'll just sit here.
No, well, you put that in your report.
I put what in my report?
You put that in your report that I was talking about ARS rules.
No, I didn't.
Have you looked? Yeah, you did.
Where?
Do you have your report?
I didn't put anything about the rule in there. I put in that you were asked to leave.
Have you read that accurate report that you wrote, sir?
Yeah, I put in here that you refused to leave. Officer Winograd came up, also said you had already been
At the very bottom,
the
sir.
rules and the consequences. You refused to leave again, so you were given plenty of opportunity to go. You didn't.
No, this ain't story hour. I don't need fairy tales right now. Let me read the part that I'm talking about.
Okay.
It says, officers arrived to transport Gonzalez to the jail. Gonzalez continued his rant, and stated that he was filming because the no filming sign is just a building rule, and ARS allows him to film. Did you write that? This is true and accurate, right? Because you just said you didn't
I didn't
write
write that.
You didn't write that?
I did not write that.
Who wrote this report, sir?
Are you looking at Kugler's report right now?
No, your name is Gerald, right?
Yeah.
Knepper, K-E-N, or K-N-E-P-P-E-R, badge number 46585.
Yeah, I see where it is now.
Now,
Yeah,
but
I'm reading it now. My apologies. I wrote that.
but you. All right, so with that Rule 122.1, do you have a computer available?
No, I don't have one available.
Do you have internet available?
No.
Is there a way that we could get you to an internet, to a computer?
No.
Why is that?
I'm not going to do that. We're sitting here for the interview.
Well, this is exculpatory to this case because you stated you. So, sir, you're telling me that you're not willing to walk to a computer to state the rule that you've been telling me that I got arrested for. You refuse to look at it. Have you looked at the rule since? Have you looked at the rule since? Have you looked at ARS Rule 122.1 since I've been arrested?
Well, I don't think that is an ARS rule.
You don't think ARS Rule 122.1 is a ARS rule?
No, I think it's the Arizona Supreme Court administrative order.
All right. So have you read that?
No,
You haven't read that since my arrest?
no.
Have you read it before my arrest?
Yeah, probably during that training.
Oh, during the training? And you said it was on a computer, right?
Probably, yeah.
What do you mean probably? How could we find out? Because I'm going to need a yes or no answer to see what kind of training and who
You're not
trained
going
you.
to get a yes or no answer. So sometimes it comes down as memos to read on paper when we read in the office, and sometimes it's on the computer. And
Do you guys ever hold classes where you guys are multiple people and say whether it's in a room or on the computer, where you guys have a meeting that way?
Sometimes, yes.
Have you had one with 122? Was that meeting?
I don't think it was like that.
You don't think it was like that?
What's that? Don't I think what?
So, who made you aware of that 122.1? Because that's not factual. If that's what made you aware of 122.1, then
for court. Do you understand? That's what you're going to argue against me in court, right?
what? Well, no. See, yeah, but see, you have to. That's why we have the interview first.
Right. So you know.
So that way I could ask you the questions about this right here that you're talking about, and you don't know what you're talking about, dude, and you're arresting people. That's what's crazy is because you
for
can.
breaking the rule. I arrest you for.
What rule? What
Why
rule?
did I arrest you? Weingard arrested you.
Yeah, but what rule? What rule did you tell Weingard that I was arresting? Was it for anything else?
The sign is no. You just got arrested for trespassing.
And what caused trespassing?
I was telling you to leave, and you're not leaving.
All right, why were you telling me to leave?
Well, you're causing a scene for sure.
Was there anybody in there besides me and
the
you?
courtroom they were holding court in the courtroom at the time.
But we weren't in the courtroom. You just stated that we were in the hall, right?
Yeah, but they're holding court in the courtroom.
But we weren't in a courtroom, though, right? We were in the courthouse.
We're outside the courtroom.
All right, so what would that be considered?
The courthouse?
All right.
Right. It still needs to be quiet. You can't go in there causing a ruckus all over the place, you know.
Who did anybody complain?
I don't know.
You don't know. How would we find out if anybody complained? Was there
You could go ask everybody that was in there.
was there a complainant?
Was there a complainant?
Yeah.
Not at the moment. There was not.
Well, somebody complained, but there was no complainant.
Right. You're disturbing the court. Officer Weingard's there.
Who decided that I was disturbing the court?
Officer Weingard.
Did he? I thought you were the one that said that I was disturbing the court.
I was. I was the one asking you to leave, telling you to
So
leave.
you're the complainant.
No.
You're the complainant.
You were being disorderly.
Well, who's the complainant? You're the complainant. You're the complainant. Can the courthouse be a victim? The Tucson City that's what you just told me. That there was nobody else there, that I was disturbing the courtroom or the courthouse, and there was no complainant. You're the complainant. Can you be the complainant on duty? Can you be a... See, there's one of those things. There's one of those things. All right.
Multiple times, and you didn't leave, so therefore you got cited for trespassing.
All right. I got cited for trespassing because somebody complained.
I just told you the whole thing.
Yeah, you just told me that there's no complainant but you. All right, so let me ask you a question then. Since you're on duty 24 hours, 365, can you be the complainant?
I'm not on duty 24.
But you were on duty. You never get off duty. You only work 45 hours a week, 40 hours a week. But you're on duty 24 hours.
Nobody said that.
So what's the difference between on duty and off duty?
I told you that already.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I absolutely did. We even talked about me going to the mall and everything. So I think
Yeah, but you said that you could just run up and shoot somebody if you seen them robbing a store. Well, you said you could go up and tell them that you're a cop and arrest them if they're robbing a store. And I said I could do the same thing, right? Except for telling them I'm a cop. And you're like, yes. So what is the difference between on duty and off duty?
All right, what would you like to ask about this case specifically? We're going on like 40 minutes here.
Well, it doesn't matter. You haven't answered any of the questions.
I've answered every one.
No, you haven't. What's the difference between on duty and off duty?
Oh man, I've covered that at length. So let's ask me that one more time and we're done. I'm serious.
All right, because it's unanswered. You can't answer that. All right, so
I've answered it many times already.
All right. So, is an on-duty officer, can an on-duty officer be a complainant?
Can an on-duty officer be a complainant?
Yeah, can an on-duty,
Like, what are you talking about?
can an on-duty officer be the complainant of recording that turns into trespassing? Trespassing is in, because we still have to go over
I could be the
trespassing.
witness to it.
But you can't be the complainant?
That doesn't even make sense to me right now.
But being a witness to something you don't make sense of?
I'm just asking you to leave the courtroom, keeping the peace of the courtroom.
All right, so who's the complainant? Who was like, hey, this guy's doing this and this and this to me, I want him to stop?
Oh, that would be the court itself there. Rules of the court, which they're trying to keep
The
peace.
court itself? But who was the complainant? You were the complainant, correct?
Sure.
Sure, all right.
It's a court rule that you can't be in there.
What court rule says that we can't be in there?
That you can't be causing a disturbance and recording in there.
What court rule states that?
That's the 122 as far as I know.
122 is for the courtroom. That's the wrong rule. What rule are you talking about?
Are we talking about the trespassing? Are we talking about the rule of court? So
We're talking about the rule of we're talking about the rule that you're talking about.
I believe you're filming. So
What rule says, what rule though? What court rule says that we could be arrested for filming?
That's what I believe it.
Huh?
I told you already. I
What?
already told you what I believe it to be.
And that's what the complainant told you? Or that's what you know?
Oh, that's what the signs.
What does the sign say, sir?
No recording in the courthouse, past some certain point.
Oh, what point is that? Is there a line on the ground?
I think it's the doorway to the inside.
Have you read 122.1, sir?
Not recently.
So is the courthouse a public forum?
Here we go. Are you going to ask anything?
Well,
about
where does it
the-
stop being a public forum? I'm just curious where the courthouse stops from being public forum to
Well, I guess when you're in there causing a disturbance and you're asked to leave and don't.
so you're saying when I'm inside there that it's no longer a public forum?
No, that's not what I said.
You said you guessed. You want to try another guess? Would you like to try another guess, or do you want us to talk about facts and rules in Arizona Supreme
Court.
Court?
To move on. If you have any other questions.
Well, you just told me that the Arizona Supreme, or that there's a rule that says that we can't be recording in there, and then that turns into trespassing.
But that is not even what you got arrested for, right? You got arrested because you wouldn't leave and you're causing a disturbance.
Yeah, but why wouldn't I leave?
Right?
What was I doing? What was I doing that I was being told to
You're
leave?
just following me around, cursing and yelling at me, calling me names.
All right, so-
calling me out the door.
All right, so did I hurt your feelings?
No, but you're
Would you consider that redressing my grievances? What was I talking to you about?
I don't know. You were telling me, what do you think? You're a big man, calling me a pussy, all kinds of stuff. Whatever you could do to get under my skin.
No. What I was telling
I
you
know that
is
you're kind of
what I was telling you is
so I didn't want to go down the other stairs.
is actually, you know, the assault that you brought up. After I beat you in court and you dragged me through court for like 2.5 years or something like that or longer, and I beat you in court. I never seen you from that day until I was in that courtroom listening to you attack another cop watcher that was in that courtroom. That's what you were in court for that day
I was
for.
attacking him.
You
He lost that trial.
you attacked the court because he had a camera. You got MOs. You did the same to me. You did the same to him, and I didn't even realize it was you because I didn't even know who. I didn't remember you because I only met you once, and you beat me up and put me in the hospital.
You want to move on with this interview here?
Well, see, I'm telling you, and yeah, so you're crazy, bro. Like, all right, so this 122.1.
I never go to you guys. You always come up to me.
That was can I tell a cop that he's a dirty cop, and is that called redressing my grievances?
You call me whatever you want.
I didn't say I called you a name. I said, can I tell you that I think you should be fired? No, can I tell you I think you should be fired? You beat me up and put me in the hospital. Do you think I should be able to tell you
I
that?
didn't want to go down the back stairs.
Who didn't?
You hit That's why I didn't want to go down the back stairs.
I hit you. When did I hit you? Is that in the report?
Man.
Is that in the report? Oh,
So we're regressing into an old case again?
no, we're not regressing into an altercation, but what I was doing to you is that was the first time that I seen you after I beat the case. And, you could say whatever you want. It's in black and white, right? And it was beat. I wasn't charged with assaulting an officer at all. I was nothing. Everything that you said is made up.
This case? Let's go forward.
They threw it out because of your report. That's why I asked if you've had any disciplinaries or if you're on the Brady list.
Oh, no, I'm definitely not.
No, see, because they allow you to lie on reports. That's why your case got thrown out.
Don't, and you did slap me. It's on camera, so.
Oh, is it on camera? Anyways, I'm going to enter that into evidence.
You can see you slapping my hand right on the camera.
Is that when you were, anyways, that's a different case.
That is a different case.
Yeah,
Let's
but
move on.
yeah, exactly. I beat that. You ain't got nothing to say about that. So the judge was lying? What?
What are we going? Let's.
All right, so
Can we go to this case?
yes, that's what I'm talking about. So this 122, I was just talking about your MOs, how you arrest people and this is the second time I've met you. Was this the second time I've met you? Was this the second time I've met you in life besides trial?
I have no idea.
It was. And this is the second time I met you, and I was beat up and arrested for the same thing, for recording for 122.1 of the rule of what? The rule of the Arizona Supreme Court, or the rule of the courthouse?
You were arrested because you were trespassing. You had been asked to leave before.
All right, so who was the complainant? Who asked me to leave?
That was Officer Weingrad told you that you knew the
But
rules.
you were telling that Weingrad, we haven't even got to Weingrad yet. You keep trying to throw him under the bus. We're still on
I'm not
you.
throwing him under the bus.
We're still on
I'm
you.
trying to move
How many
on.
times did you tell me to leave?
Oh, I don't know. Probably 5 or 6 times.
So you say 10 times?
I said 5 or 6. I have no idea. It was a lot.
5 or 6? A lot?
Yeah, it was a lot of times. I even held the door open for you.
Oh yeah? In your report, it says that you told me to leave, 3 times? Do you have the report in front of you?
Sure.
Do you?
I have the report in front of me. Yeah.
All right, so how many times can you see that you asked me to leave?
No, it doesn't have a number in my report that I can see.
How many, or you can't see how many times they asked you to, ask me to leave?
No, I didn't put a number.
But you said 5 or 6 times.
I have no idea. It was a lot of times.
Is there 5 or 6 times inside this report?
I didn't write 5 or 6. No.
Oh, no, did you say that you told me to leave 5 or 6 plus times in this report?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was probably at least 5.
You said, yeah, it was a lot? Is that,
It was a lot.
yes, so you said 5 or 6 times? Do you think there's more
And I
than
held
5 or
the door
6
open
times?
for you, and then I called another officer because you wouldn't leave.
Oh, yeah? And is that all that going to be on security footage?
I don't know. I haven't watched the security footage.
When was the last time you read this report?
Right now, reading it right now.
All right. So how far into it are you?
What do you just ask me a question?
How far into the report? You said you're reading it right now. How far into it are you right now?
Go ahead. I'm done.
All right. So how many times did you see that you told me to leave?
I didn't put a number in here.
Oh, you didn't see the word leave?
Yeah, I see the word leave, but
All right. How many times
I
did you
actually
see it
told-
written?
The report is to refresh my memory. It's not something that I go in and say, I told him.
Also, 5 or 6 times, would you say that's exaggerating then?
What is?
5 or 6 times compared to what your report?
That's what I remember, yeah.
Oh, okay. But it's not in the report.
No, that's not in the report.
Oh, but it's what you remember.
Yeah.
So everything that you wrote is true and almost accurate?
What did I say before, right? This is to refresh our memory about the case. I'm not going to write. You can't write every little detail that happened. That would be impossible, right?
But you can't add details either. You can't add details either.
This is an overview.
I think this is going to be an easy case, the sounds of now, because we can't.
Awesome. Are we done?
No, see, because you said that there was a rule 122.1 that stated that we can't record. No.
I'm not
No, I asked you if it was a Supreme Court rule or a court rule.
Well, I believe it's an administrative order from the.
Oh, so it's not a rule. It's an order.
I already said that too. Okay, well, I'm done.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What's
Yes,
the
I did. I'm done.
what's the policy?
You can move on. What's the next question?
No, that's what you have that in here. And you said you just told me that it was the rule, but now it's the policy. Do you know what policies are? Do you know what are you? What did you
It's a
say?
rule. It's an administrative order where they made a
It's
rule.
so is an order a rule?
It's an administrative order where they made a rule.
All right, an administrative order that was made a rule?
Yeah, that they ordered a rule.
All right, so I need the definitions of a rule. What is a rule? Is it an Arizona Supreme Court rule? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm gonna go get a drink. If you want to ask a question, by the time I get back.
Well, is that you don't know what you're talking about. You're not answering the questions, and just because you don't know, like you're crazy, like this is nuts. I just want to go on record and just show how unbiased this trial is, and what are we doing here? This is a straight railroad charge, right? Recording turns into trespassing, this guy told me. And he says it was from a rule, but he says it's but he tells me that a rule does it, but so what's the difference between an Arizona Supreme Rule and a court administrator order? Court administrative order. Excuse me, sir, are you there?
Oh, I am here, but I've already answered that.
No, you didn't. What's the difference between because you keep calling
I told you what it is.
no, you didn't. All right, so
I believe it to be.
all right, so what does it say in the Arizona?
So I can tell you. So
What does it say? Sir, I need to know the difference between a rule and a
I
policy.
believe it to be. I believe the Supreme Court administrative order made the rule 122.
Supreme Court administrative order made the rule 122.
I'm telling you, that's how I believe it to go. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong about that. But that's how I believe it. They make the order, and then the rule comes from the order.
Who makes the order? See, that's why you're a good cop like that, because that's not what you said, and now you just said something else, which is cool.
Okay.
Because that's what you do. You don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't
All right,
know.
so let me tell you what this goes. This goes Arizona Supreme, or there goes the Constitution,
No, you
freedom
don't
of press.
know anything. I just
No,
want
I'm just going over the Constitution, the freedom of press, right? And then there's the Arizona Supreme Court rule, right? And then there's like all the different courts and stuff like that. And then there's court administration orders, right? And so you said that the 122.1 rule was in the rule, but you said it was a court administration rule. So do you mean the court administration order? Is that what you're trying?
called a rule. I told you what I.
But it's the court that does it, right? It's the court that puts out the rule. It's the court that puts out that.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's how I think it goes.
But you're arresting people for that, right?
I'm arresting for.
And you're being the complainant about that.
You got arrested for trespassing.
All right, so the administration order, right? All right, so trespassing. So the administration order that you're telling me about right here, right? I know what it is. I got it in front of me. It's 50-4 is what the court administration order. So the court administration order, they told you that filming was an arrestable offense. Because I want to know how filming turns into trespassing.
You're breaking a rule of the court, and also you're being disorderly.
Is it a rule of the court? Is it an order of the court, right? So,
now you're trespassing. 'Cause
but
you're
the-
past the thing you did.
all right, so whose court order was it? It's the administration's? Is it the administration's or the Supreme Court, Arizona Supreme Court? You're talking about the court.
I already told you I don't know.
But what rule were you telling me that I needed that I couldn't
It was
record?
Posted on the signs. Posted on the signs,
What rule was that?
and then
What rule was that?
it was
Right.
122. I believe it to be 122.1. I'm gonna.
Yeah, 122.1, and we just went over it where it says that I'm permitted to record in the courthouse, right? That I am permitted, are permitted.
With permission.
With permission? Where does it say with permission?
Well, that's how I understand the member.
Well, who told you that? And you can't say the computer program that you use to do that, because that's completely inaccurate, and that can't be possible.
We're done, so we're an hour in.
No, we're not even done with the report. So it doesn't matter, like time. It doesn't matter. We're in the report.
We're done. Move on, and we're done. It's an hour.
It doesn't.
Way more time than anyone else.
Sir, I just want to no, that's not true, sir. This is an attorney interview, sir, and we're not even through the whole.
Are you an attorney?
We're not even through the whole. You don't see me as an attorney?
No.
Do you respect the rule of law?
You passed the bar.
Do you respect the rule of law? Do you respect the rule of law? Is there an amendment where I'm allowed to be my own attorney?
You can represent yourself, sure.
Is there an amendment?
Can we move on, please?
So with that being known, do you see me as an attorney now?
No, you're representing yourself.
All right, so you don't respect the rule of law. You don't respect the constitutions. You don't want it. What is it, the Sixth Amendment? I think it's the Sixth Amendment, bro. So probably want to look that up.
We're just arguing at this
No,
point.
it's just crazy because you don't know anything about anything. You're arresting people. It's crazy.
Okay, fine. I don't know anything about anything.
All right. So, anyways, so I continue to. All right. So, it says, do you have the paperwork in front of you?
What paperwork?
Your narrative supplement report.
Yes.
All right. So, would you continue reading that for me, please?
I'm not just going to read it. You can ask me questions about it.
Does it start with?
You can read it yourself.
Does this report start with "Once upon a time"?
You have the wrong report.
Oh, wait, hold on. What about in a far, far universe, way far away? Is that it?
No, you still have the wrong report.
I'm sorry. Let's see. So you told me to leave 5 times. All right. So we haven't even. You're just jumping ahead though. See, because like we haven't even. You said that you seen me recording inside the courtroom, right? Because it says that I was recording an audio recording, doesn't it? So when did you see me recording an audio recording?
We already discussed that.
But at what point? Was it in the courtroom or outside the doors?
That was inside the courthouse after security, after you walk into security.
But you're talking about I left the courtroom into the courthouse section?
Yes.
All right. So why were you telling me from the opposite side of the very room? That's weird.
The what?
You said security, right? That's through the opposite side of the room, through the opposite side of the doors.
Inside the courthouse, past security.
Deceptive much?
Inside the courtroom.
Can I get you to answer simple questions without trying to be deceptive, sir? This is
I'm not being deceptive.
this is going to go to court. This is going to go before law. This is already told to be somewhat truthful and somewhat inaccurate.
Okay.
All right. So when did I start recording?
You had your phone out when you were following me down the stairs, I believe.
All right. And does out mean recording?
It looked like you were recording to me. We talked about this.
All right. So you said it looks like I was recording. Was I recording?
I believe you to be recording. Okay.
All right. So is a yes or no answer, sir?
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because belief, I don't know your beliefs, and I believe that you're of the devil. So your beliefs scare me.
The devil?
I believe that you're of the devil, sir.
Okay.
So I don't want to go off beliefs. I want to go off of did you witness with your eyeballs that my phone was on?
No.
So you don't even, all right, so therefore you have no way of knowing if my phone was actually recording.
I don't.
All right. Thank you, sir. And so at what point did I start recording? It's in your report, sir.
I can't hear you.
It's in your report, sir.
You asked me, bark.
Yeah, you said you said upon the exit from the courtroom of the spectators, which spectators is like to a game, to a football game, to a hockey game. You're a spectator watching your kids play in the soccer field.
Neat. Okay. What else would you like to talk about?
It would be observer, sir, as per the First Amendment, right?
Yeah. No, it's spectator. You can watch something.
It's a observer, is what the word is, sir.
Okay. Are we going to continue?
No,
this?
I'm just
Going
telling
over
you.
the same point?
But it's just because it's not a game, and you've taken it as a game.
You're right. That's
Um,
not what's spectator.
So he followed me out into the hallway.
You
and
followed me out.
All right, was I recording at that point?
I believe you were, yes.
Like once again, sir, I don't go off your beliefs because I believe you are of the devil.
Well, I go off my beliefs.
Do you consider yourself to be a moral man?
Where are we going here?
Your beliefs, sir.
Yeah, I believe that you were filming me.
Is that a yes or a no? So what's your beliefs? Did you believe my phone was on?
Yeah, I believe you were filming me.
Okay. See, so which is crazy. It's crazy talking. You're right. So at what point did I start recording you?
Yeah, I don't know. When you start yelling and calling me by name and calling me keeper.
Well, that has nothing to do with the phone being on or off and pressing record.
Right.
See, if you're jumping ahead, I asked you simple questions.
I'm not jumping ahead. You just asked me when I thought you started, and that's when I thought you started.
When?
When you followed me out of the courtroom.
I called you out of the courtroom?
When you followed me out of the courtroom.
Oh, when I followed you out of the courtroom?
Yes.
And upon my exit from the courtroom, one of the spectators, Patrick Gonzalez, that's two Z's, by the way, followed me out into the hallway. He started calling me by my name, filming and cursing. So it says that I walked out in the hallway and then I started filming and cursing, right? So
Yes.
In that hallway, is it illegal to film in that hallway?
There's a rule against filming in the courthouse.
What rule is that, sir?
We're gonna. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, because you're saying rule, sir. A rule is the Arizona Supreme Court rule.
Did you get arrested for that? No. You got arrested because you're asked to leave because you're being disorderly in the courtroom and being
All right.
loud and cursing and swearing. And
Who-
you got arrested.
Who was the
Right.
complainant, sir?
Right.
Who was the complainant,
We're
sir?
gonna go over this.
Because you were the complainant, sir. If you're on duty, you cannot be the complainant. You know that.
We just keep going over the same thing.
But it's crazy how this is going forward. There's no case here. All right. So, Arizona's, all right. So the court administrative rule, sir, that's, so he hung up on me, guys. I don't know what to say. We didn't even get all the way through what do you guys think about that? What do you guys, am I tripping or? He hung up on me, but there's no case. I mean, he's saying that recording is trespassing and that the court says to do it, but the Rule 122.1, he knows you can't. It's just weird. He hung up on me, Tuck.
Yep, I know.
And I was moving on because we didn't even get past the first paragraph of yeah, so I'm gonna have to put in a motion for these guys too. Yeah, because we didn't even get to trespassing. Kind of skimmed it a little bit, but but he told me he asked me to leave a lot of times. But his reports and what he says and all that stuff and what the security footage and body cams are gonna show are gonna be way different. So it's crazy. And he's not gonna be held accountable. But he'll run me through the court. It's crazy. Is anybody on it? So, is your...
Yeah, it's 55. All right, guys. Yeah, interview's over. Interview number 2. See you later, guys.